welcome back to Emotional Mojo. You know her as one of the most recognizable faces in America as host for Entertainment Tonight and her own talk show. But what you may not know is that she is a champion for family caregivers, as well as a best-selling author and currently the co-host of America Now. And we are so excited to welcome Leeza Gibbons to the show. Welcome, Leeza.
I'm excited to be here, too.
Thanks for joining us. You know, you started Leeza's Place in 2002. You lost your mother to Alzheimer's disease. You know the toll that caregiving takes on a family. Let's talk about some of the stresses that are on caregivers and how it affects their health.
Well, these are the husbands and the wives and the sons and the daughters who show up really for duty on the front lines. And I say that they do it with love and they do it with honor and dignity. But when you're taking care of someone else, you're probably not taking care of yourself. And that means that you're many times setting a clock and you're beginning to tick backwards, counting 10 years off your life while you're trying to save the life of that person that you love. That compassion fatigue is so great that you're disappearing many times from your own life. So we decided when my mother and my grandmother died of Alzheimer's disease, what could we do? How could we change that story? And so we began to open Leeza's Place, Leeza's Care Connection, to begin to rewrite it and to help people call on their strengths and summon their courage.
Hi, Leeza. This is Jada. You remind caregivers to take their oxygen first. What do you mean by this?
Well, we know when you're flying, they'll say, and if the cabin decompresses, put your mask on before you assist anybody else. And I know every mother is thinking, I'm not doing that. I'm going to help my child. That's what we do in life. We help everybody else. We give, we nurture, we nurture. It's intuitive. It's our gift. But we begin to unravel at the seams and we deplete. And if you don't take your oxygen first, nourish yourself, mind, body, soul, and spirit. This is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And what will happen is, you're there in the middle of this storm and you're going to completely exhaust yourself and you'll have nothing and your loved one will have nothing. So we're trying to change the paradigm here and say the way to love your loved one, job number one is love yourself first, and to stop seeing that as being a selfish act. That's the most unselfish thing you could do.
Leeza, this is Tara. I just lost my husband a year ago to cancer, and so I was his caregiver. And I can't agree with you more that you have to take care of yourself first. And I had 2 little boys. I still have 2 little boys that I was caring for at the time, too. And I was just running on empty at the time. And so I'm interested in hearing more about Leeza's Place and how you bring caregivers together so that you can have them connect with each other, and how do you help them to feed each other, to connect with each other?
I think our greatest humanity is it takes great strength to know your limits. And, when we get together and when we recognize that, we should not walk the path alone, you can't walk the path alone, that's when you really can hold your head up high and throw your shoulders back and say, great, who's on my team? Who can I count on? And how do I get on with it? So that's what we do at the Care Connection is say, all right, first of all, it may not be your biological family that you can lean on. And we tend to get resentful. We tend to get hurt. We say, well, why can't my brother show up? Why can't my sister do what I'm doing? Why can't I count on the people that I should be able to depend on? And if we can release that energy and forgive those people for their limits and know that we grow at different paces and let go of that, because that's wasted energy that's going to keep you from doing what you need to do and kind of getting on with it, then you can choose your logical family. Then you can get on with your own team of people who really can support you and give you what you need. Because as I don't know if you found that the people who were really there for you may not have been the ones that you thought, and the ones that couldn't go the distance with you, that kind of just fell by the wayside, may have surprised you. You kind of have to just accept that. And that's one of the first things that we find at the Care Connection is, those people around you, that's your family of choice, so honor that.
Leeza, we're here on Emotional Mojo. We're all about inspiration. So switching gears here just a little bit, you are such an inspiration to everyone, and especially women over 50. How do you stay so fearless and fit? Because you use those terms a lot. And we keep thinking about Dancing with the Stars over here and picturing you just doing your thing and having fun and being fearless and fit. I mean, what's your words of advice and motivation for other people out there?
Well, first of all, I was scared out of my mind.
Who wouldn't be?
Which was why I did it. And it was really my daughter, who's the oldest. I have a daughter and 2 sons. And my daughter is a dancer, and I'm so not. If you saw me in the show, you know that.
Well, you look like it to us from what we're watching right now.
She goes, you know, Mom, you really aren't practicing what you preach. You always tell us that we only grow when we take risks and when we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
I went, okay, honey, you're right. So I said, you're right. So I finally said yes to doing the show, and it was so informative to me, first of all, to understand that in life, I couldn't always lead, that sometimes you have to wait and respond, and your music in life is always going to change as we grow. And I wrote this book called Take 2, which was all about finding another stage to dance on. Because as we journey down life's highway, whether you get depressed, or divorced, or you get fired, or you get fat, maybe you just get stuck, you get a little lost in your own life. Your music changes, and sometimes you don't know the steps to your dance.
I love it. It's a great message. Thank you so much for taking some time out with us. Leeza's book is available online now.